Have you ever asked yourself why some people are more bold than others? My name is James, and this is Convo, encouraging conversations that matter. Today is an interesting day for me because I'm doing this show with a long-time friend of mine. I think I've known her for almost 10 years. Imagine 10 years, and that's a huge time. It's really, I feel good, doing this show together with her, and I'm so much excited. So today we're going to talk about boldness to execute. And I know most of you have ideas. Most of you have some, goals that they want to execute or they want to act on. But, you still don't have the courage to begin, or you still don't have the, what you'd call the monjo, that vigor to start. And so today we're going to explore what boldness is, what are the challenges to boldness, and more importantly, why you need boldness to execute your idea, whichever idea it is. Could it be your business idea or your personal development idea, whatever it is that you want to pursue, even growing up spiritually, whatever idea it is that you want to execute. One thing, it will require boldness. And so we're gonna have that kind of conversation, and I believe and I hope that it will impact you, it will bless you, and actually it will cause you to execute your ideas. Our prayer is that you be bold at the end of this conversation. So before you even go further, I would like to request you to consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, Convo, encouraging conversations that matter. And tell your friend, share this stream with your friend, tell them a new show is up on boldness, because I believe you need boldness just like I do. I need a lot of boldness. I need to move out there. There's so many ideas that is in my head that I want to execute, and you know what, they all require boldness. Even us standing here and sitting here and sharing with you guys still require boldness. But the time comes when you realize it's not that easy. You have the challenges when you out there, you jump yourself into there. It's not easy. It's never easy. But you know what? We have boldness in us, and we have faith that whatever we are doing will cause an impact. So allow me to invite my friend and just say hi to you. Melly, welcome so much.
Thank you, James.
It's good to have you.
It's good to be
here. Welcome to Convo.
Finally, I'm on Convo.
Yes. And I'm so happy to have you today.
I'm also looking forward to this conversation.
Yes.
Because courage is one of the things every one of us needs, no matter who you are, no matter where you are or what you're doing.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to this conversation. It's going to be good. It's going to be awesome.
Yes. So I don't know where to begin, because I think this is a huge topic. We can discuss it, but we're gonna break it down to 4 key things that we want us to share. We're gonna talk about why we need boldness, and still some challenges when it comes to boldness. You want to go there and execute your ideas, but they are ish. So how do you beat those challenges? And then we're going to talk about how now do you build up your boldness. Out this year I wrote a book, and I know you've read the book.
Yes.
It's called 90 Days of Courage, and for me I was trying to demystify what people call courage. And in that book there's something that will, when you read the book and you finish it, you find that maybe it's not the courage the way we know it, the way you have the Masquebe, you're going there, David is killing a lion. It's not that kind of courage I've really spoken about, but it's more about how we conduct ourselves and how we get off familiarity and we explore uncertainty. You are not, you don't get comfortable with what you're familiar with, because what you're familiar with is the exact thing that threatens you
to try something new.
Exactly, because you're familiar, this is how the society says, this is what people, expect me to behave. When you move past familiarity, what you're familiar with, that's where boldness comes in.
Yes, and one of the things I like about that book, James, is the fact that you've broken it down into 90 days.
Yes.
So it means that there's something to read and to accomplish or to stir you up on a daily basis.
Exactly.
And that is what courage is about. Exactly. You don't need a grand step. You only need to take those baby steps. Exactly. And within time, you find yourself, you are there.
Exactly. Melly, courage for me, it's, we've tried to simplify courage. Taking your phone and, ringing your friend or calling your mom, parent, and tell them, I love you. It's courage. For me, that is courage. Yeah. And that's where we begin, because we know that it's not common, but you're willing to stretch yourself to do.
You're willing to do something that not everybody would do, but you're starting yourself. It's not easy, but you have to do it.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, that is what counts. Good. Maybe you can begin by telling us, what is courage according to your definition?
Boldness, like I said, for me is getting away from familiarity.
Getting away from familiarity.
What I've known as familiar.
Yeah.
And doing something
and trying out something new.
More. Yes. For example, what is so familiar is that when you leave college, you look for a job.
You look for a job,
you look for an 8 to 5 job. But what if you say, no, I'm not going to get to a paid up job, an office or something, but I'm going to do a small business, or I want to venture into, an idea, something that people did not expect. You are a rookie, you don't know so much, you are an amateur, and you explore that area and you pursue that area. For me, that is courage.
That is
it's
courage.
Not common, because people, the common advice that when you finish your college, everyone is looking for a job.
You need to send your CV there.
You send CVs and all there. But still now you find that you can still start an enterprise with what you've learned in school. And for me, that is courage,
Yes, that is a good definition, because you will not learn until you try. Exactly. You will not know what is out there, and it has to do with taking risk. What I would say my definition of courage is from my walk of faith. I would recline mostly on that area. Is courage is an expression of your faith in God. Because James, I have read the Bible and I know you have done that too. Sure. You will find that most of the time when God told somebody to carry out a task or to carry out an assignment, he would just give instructions. Most of the readers you find in the Bible, like we have Joshua, we have Nehemiah, we have Moses, and most of the time he would command them, go do this and this. We have also Abraham, who is called the father of faith. So he just told him, leave your place, go to an unknown place. So most of the time God will give you an instruction. And when you carry out that instruction, it's an act of obedience and your expression of faith. And that mostly requires courage. Because you see, we have many readers in the Bible who would give excuses. Please show me a sign. We have Gideon. Moses would feel insufficient. He would give excuses. He does not know how to talk or stuff like that. But mostly when we take that step, we express our faith in God, our faith in the fact that God has spoken, I have to do. I know it is intimidating, it is fearful, but you will do it.
You need to do it. I got another very clear. There's so many. If you go online and you go to dictionary, there's so many definitions of courage. Courage or boldness. In this case, we're going to talk about boldness. And I got one that stood out for me, and it says it's the ability, it's the quality of spirit that enable you to face danger.
I got that.
The quality of spirit, and then quality. The aspect of danger that allows you to face a danger. And like, wow,
quality is a good word.
Yes.
Because it means a quality. It is something that has value. So it means this courage you can add value into who you are and build up your courage. And maybe because you're talking of courage, why? If I would ask you, why do we need courage? Why are we having this conversation on courage?
For example, just take for us, I wish you can having a show. I don't want to call it a childhood dream, but something that I thought long time ago. It's not like I thought about it last year. I thought about kitambo, how can I just share stories, how can I build other people, I thought about it kitambo, but you know what, I had not built enough bonus. Or let me say, I didn't have the courage or bonus to start. because I wouldn't say I didn't have a camera. I had a phone which could record very nice videos, and it's all about college. I was not bored enough. I was questioning myself. So what I know, the reason why we all need boldness, even you, the reason why you need boldness is, one, God has put something in your life.
Absolutely.
And you're not in this life by mistake or a coincidence, or it's not by mistake, or there's some specific assignment or some task that you ought to accomplish,
carry out when you're on earth.
And that specific goal, that particular assignment, that mandate, that business that need to be started, that program that need to be initiated, you won't be able to do it if you don't have courage. And you know what? You'll be a disappointment to God.
Yes, a disappointment to yourself
and to yourself and to your brothers and sisters, and
because you know what, James, everybody has a starting up of something they would want to be. But normally we have this sometimes we have these excuses we give, especially we have a misconception which we will be addressing. Like one of the misconception is I work from 8 to 5, so I don't have time to pursue what my heart loves. Beside my 8 to 5 job, which limits us and puts us in a cage.
You're caged,
and then we have another misconception. I think I shared with you, because when I was growing up, I used to think purpose or your reason of existence. Mostly we like to use purpose. It was a huge word back in the day. So your purpose, discover your purpose. You remember there was so much teachings on discover your purpose and all that. I used to think purpose is for people like Martin Luther, for Obama.
Prominent guys.
So prominent guys who have a stage and a platform and all that. Until I was taught and I discovered that everybody who is on earth
has a purpose.
You have a purpose.
Yes, you have. There's a task.
There's a task
that is expected that you
from
fulfill.
you. And it doesn't have to be as grand as Obama. Yes, we can. The campaigns and all that. It doesn't have to be like Martin Luther. I've read a lot about Martin Luther and I get inspired. It doesn't have to be like you're a revolutionist or something. It has to begin with where you are, the community where you live, and you will find purpose attached to your environment.
Sure. Melly, when you just talk about purpose, even the other day I sat down and I realized some of the greatest work that sometimes we ignore, is raising children. A mother who chooses to stay in the house to raise her child,
to spend time, to give up their day work and spend time with their children,
make sure they're and she spends in the house. That is purpose.
That is also
purpose. Because mainly you have children, become your responsibility. How those kids will turn out primarily is dependent on the parent.
On the parents.
So become a very critical, purpose to fulfill. I have brought some progenies. How are they gonna turn out? What kind of people would they be? How would they impact the community? How would they impact the society that we are living in? So raising them up
is also purpose.
And if you're raising a child, you've left your job, some people call stay-home mom. You know what, you're doing an amazing job. And I want everybody to understand that it's a huge work. A huge work. Fulfilling purposes, even for those guys. How those guys will be raised will depend also how they fulfill their purpose.
Fulfill their purpose. Even the Bible commends parents and it says, train a child in the ways that they should go. So that the aspect of training, it means you have to have spent time with them. So purpose is not limited to our 8 to 5 job. Purpose is not limited to our, to a stage and the spotlight and all that.
I think it's good to highlight this, that 8 to 5 job. When we speak about a purpose or this assignment, it doesn't really have an expiration date. Where maybe, for example,
the very good point.
Thank you. Like an 8 to 5 job, at some point your employer will tell you, hey, man, you've achieved your retirement age. And so they give you a letter and they give you the benefit, and then they tell you just, because you become unproductive.
Yeah.
Your performance declines.
I mean, even the age now allows you to go and
rest.
take some
But you see now,
break.
purpose transcends even your age.
Absolutely, you can say that again.
It transcends your age.
Yeah, it outlives you.
It outlives you.
Yeah,
other people come, and actually, even like now, we speak about Jesus.
Yeah,
we speak about the guys to Moses.
Yeah,
there's so many stories we speak about. Why? Because they did. Even locally here,
yeah,
there's so many guys we can say they are no longer living. They died so many years ago, but we can feel what they did.
Yes,
and it shaped even how we are living
it
today.
Outlived them.
Yes.
Even not just even the people. Maybe we can use even other examples. Yes. We have even people like who I just mentioned, Martin Luther.
Martin, yes.
We still read him. We still read him in the school and all that. But that has to be purpose. We are not saying that go be Martin Luther.
No.
Go find your purpose.
And that's why I give an example of a mother. Some of the work that we feel new, you just need to touch one person.
Yes.
One person, and then you poof. It's amazing, yeah.
That one is very good, especially when you brought in the aspect of that purpose outlives us.
It's transcendental.
Yeah. So amazing, yeah. As much as we have purpose to accomplish, I know that James, maybe even our viewers out there, they can tell us we have these ideas, but I'm normally afraid to execute. We have this. So those are some of the challenges we have in boldness to execute.
Yes.
Maybe we can highlight some of these challenges. I know you've had challenges also.
There's so many challenges to execution, and I think to boldness. That's kind of what he does. I think mainly just to I feel all of us are born with greatness within us. And we are born just like the Bible says that we've been predestined. Yes, and so it means we've been born with a level of greatness and a purpose within us, and more importantly, courage and boldness within us. But I think as we grow up, the society that we are living in kind of try to model us, even sometimes to a level where we start now questioning ourselves, and we start questioning our abilities. And then we feel that we are not enough. And so with the moment we start doing that, one thing we call, the feeling of inadequacy, the feeling of I'm not sufficient enough crops in.
And fear also.
Yes, when we feel we are not inadequate, really, we always question our moves. And so when I'm supposed to go and initiate a small business, or I'm supposed to tell somebody I love you, when I'm supposed to tell somebody, hey man, you look great, man, you're doing a great job,
you pull back
and you don't, and that is because you're questioning yourself. You're feeling you're not adequate enough, you're feeling you're not sufficient. And so it kills all kind of the boldness oozes out of you. You feel empty. And I think that's one of the main killers of boldness.
That when feeling of insufficiency.
Yes, I'm not sufficient enough. I don't amount to anything. I don't think I'm capable. And some of these things is because the society has told us so. It's not because God has spoken to us and told us, man, you can't do anything. God knows that we are made for a purpose. And whichever experience, maybe because sometimes we go through experiences, like now the way we are growing up, I think we didn't grow up in a very perfect environment. We can all point out our life was like this, our life was like this. And no, it kind of limits us. But you know what? We can live on that story.
You have to step out.
Exactly. And you know what? There's nothing that happens behind God's back. There's not a mistake. Yes, you are there and you are living today. It's today that you're supposed to make sure that you have an impact. So you have to silence all this noise. It's not easy, but you have to move with boldness and assurance.
Absolutely. On that point of feeling of insufficiency, maybe we can give an example. We had Moses who was a reader. He was called to read people. And then he says that I cannot speak. And God does not pull out the assignment from him. It means that the assignment is still there. But now he has to figure out a way to deal with his situation and then still do the assignment.
And remember, he was also he had killed a guy there. Yeah. So that thing was still haunting him.
Yes. He didn't know how to go back.
Exactly. Yeah. But God knew that this is the guy to fulfill.
To do the assignment.
Yes.
So if you're watching us right now and you're one of the people who feel insufficient,
yes,
because most of the time purpose will always intimidate you. God will not call you into something that you have figured out.
Easy, yeah.
Or it has a direction or a map. This is how you're going to get there. Sometimes you have to make that step. Yes. So if you're watching us, you can comment below. Tell us some of these challenges you have in executing your purpose or your assignment or your ideas. We would love to hear from you.
Yes. And also, guys, kindly consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. We are discussing about boldness to execute.
Yes. So one of the other things that I know every one of us has struggled with is fear. Every one of us. If you have ever pursued anything, you know fear will always speak to you.
Yes.
But if you have those feelings of fear, you don't have to feel like you're unique. It is something that everybody goes through.
Actually, one of the definition of fear, it's actual courage.
Yeah.
It's feeling the fear and acting anyway.
Yeah.
You feel it, but you still act.
You still choose to go ahead.
Yes. And today I was listening to John Maxwell, and he spoke about fear as the opposite of faith.
Yeah.
And he says that whichever he termed them as more like an emotion. And he said the kind of emotion you will entertain, you experience more of it. If you entertain fear, you'll experience more of fear. Yeah. But if you experience and entertain faith, you experience more faith. And I got, wow.
I think I like that definition.
So, yes. So whichever one prevails,
you entertain,
it will prevail over the other. So the thing is, you need to staff fear and feed faith.
Yeah, my viewer, you got that? Starve your fears and feed your faith.
Exactly.
On that point, we have to talk about unbelief. Unbelief is also another challenge. I remember we mentioned on the beginning of this broadcast when we were defining courage, we said it is an expression of faith. So it means that when you have a state of an unbelief, or if your heart is full of unbelief, you will not step out.
Yes, sure. Mary, when you talk about unbelief, it's so funny because look at Jesus. The guys who he would expect to believe in him, the people who have seen him glow, are the same people who start questioning
him.
What are you talking to us? I think we know this guy. Isn't this so-and-so?
So
and so brother.
And you know that is what people question you when you begin doing something. When you execute an idea, people will begin saying, I know this person.
This guy.
He's been trying stuff and failing.
Yes, he has actually even started.
Anyway?
He actually started labeling you. You know this guy, he had done so and so. They start now reminding you of the mistake that you did long ago.
Or maybe something you tried, you failed.
Exactly. They try to remind you about your education. Unbelief.
Absolutely.
You know, Mary,
especially that part.
Yes. It's so funny because the other day, and I want you to look at this and maybe even comment. When you have a product you're selling, sometimes we look at our friends to buy our product.
Yes.
And those become our direct guys who we expect they'll buy your product. Because they know you. They've seen you struggling. They would love to, you would expect them to come and build you up and but then you realize those are not the guys who buy from you. And I want to tell everyone who is coming up with a product, before you target your friend, think about the people who do not know you. Those are the key guys you need. Why? Because there's an aspect of unbelief. People, I don't know what that feeling of prone to. Now, when you sell to your friends and they don't buy, what happens? You feel you're a failure. I have a product.
You feel that they've also let you down.
Exactly.
And you will begin feeling offended. And there's no need to set yourself for offense.
Yes. The people who will support you even don't know them. The people who buy your product, you even don't know them. You just need to find the ways of getting your message across. To even the people who
don't limit yourself to your friend.
Don't allow that unbelief by the circle allowed you.
to bring
kill
you down
and bring your boldness down.
And like we said, unbelief is a two-way traffic.
It's a two-way.
Sometimes people may have unbelief in you.
Yes.
You may also have lack belief in yourself.
Exactly.
Which you have to deal with until you begin to see yourself doing this thing and prevailing. And like we said, we have to keep feeding our faith to deal with unbelief. On that aspect, we should go on. How then should we address this
time
thing?
is really learning fast. I think
we should help our viewers understand that even though we are fearful, even though sometimes we are full of unbelief, it's not the end of the world.
Sure.
I mean, it's not the end of the road also. Because you can deal with your fear, you can deal with your failures, and still build up and muster up courage and execute.
Yes. So I think when you talk about what builds your boldness, one of the things that I've found that can actually, multiply your boldness is passion.
Yeah. Wow.
When you're passionate about something,
drive you.
Yes, it will drive you.
Yeah.
And you know what? You would experience challenges, but passion pushes you past challenges.
Yeah. You will fail, you will wake up, you will fail again, you will wake up. Even the Bible says that righteous man, he will fall even 7 times and they will still rise up. So you have to even stir up that passion. When you fail in one dimension, try it in another way.
I have this statement that says, nobody who retreated gets better.
Wow. You can repeat that again.
Nobody who retreated gets better. Everything that you're doing, don't retreat, don't pull back. Move on. And you gain more momentum.
Yeah. I think another way to build your courage is service.
Service. Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
You can explain that. I like the way you explain on service because you've been serving here in church and mentoring people at the same time.
One thing that you see now, Meli, Boldness, sometimes. And the reason why mentorship is very key, and I think that's also still one of the things that can build your bonus. Mentorship is about me seeing the potential in Meli. And Meli has not yet recognized her own potential. But for me, I can see it from a distance. Do you know what I'll do? I'll give Mary some tasks. And then as Mary perform these tasks, you start building confidence in start believing. When you know the unbelief, now this person starts
dealing with unbelief.
Exactly. You start believing yourself. You also realize, man, I think I can do this. Wow. You go and start doing it. I think I can do that. I think I can do that. That thing you never experience anywhere unless you're serving. Unless you're out there and you're performing the tasks. And you know what? You start from the basics, you keep growing, you realize, man, I think I can do more.
Keep asking questions. Be there when people are doing stuff and then watching and learning. Watch and learn. People love to say watch and learn.
Yes. So that aspect of service. And you know what? We talk about even purpose, just to mention purpose here in service. That purpose is not something that it's somewhere that you go and discover. It's not like it's somewhere hidden. So you have to walk all the way where your purpose is. Purpose is discovered. Yes, you discover your purpose. And the best way to discover your purpose is when you're serving, when you're performing duties, when you're doing some tasks, completely, not even tasks that are related to even to your profession or what you went to school to learn. It's any work that you find yourself in, maybe in a ministry, you find yourself doing some work. And then with the time you find that you're discovering your purpose.
In that.
Then you discover this is what God
has called me to do. On that note, Jemo, I have realized, actually even here in church, sometimes you come in thinking this is what I'm called to be. But when you begin to serve, it opens up more channels for you to discover that purpose is not limited maybe in my skills in computer, being a computer guru. You discover I can be hospitable. I can help other women take care of their children. I can smile even as an usher, you see. So you discover that one opportunity you get to serve. It will open up more opportunity for you to discover more that God has invested in you. And those skills, they will build you up as a person. Because you can work in various places and pull out this skill, pull out another skill, pull out, you become build as a whole.
And I think that's the origination of the idea of apprenticeship. Yes, that word. It's apprenticeship.
Yes,
that word.
I think
yes, it's the idea of serving, doing the work, and then learning through the work.
Trade from someone through serving them.
Exactly.
Or just becoming someone's protege. We can just say that.
A protege. You're learning. You're exposing yourself, and then you realize, no, I'm not made for this. I'm not made for me. Then you can build up. You can discover a lot. Perfect.
So maybe, James, I should mention one last one.
Yes.
We talked about faith. You know, faith will also help you build your courage.
Yes.
Especially if you're a born again person, you have an advantage called the Jesus advantage.
Oh, yeah, sure.
You remember the Jesus advantage?
Yes.
Because you can use the word of God to build your faith or to build your confidence.
Yes.
You have to internalize this word until you become it, because God will always give you a task. No matter what, no matter who you are or where you're serving.
Yes.
Even if like you said, even if it's to raise children, God will always give you a task. Sure. So you have to muster up courage. If you feel insufficient, just go to the word. Check what the word says concerning that situation and begin internalizing that word, confessing it over and over and over. And with time, like we said, when you feed your faith, your fear will starve.
Sure.
So use the word to build your courage. I think that is one of the ways I have built my courage.
Yes.
There are many times I was given a task here in church and felt very insufficient.
Yes.
But I had to keep going and standing there in front of people and keep doing the task.
Yes.
And at the same time on my closet, building myself up in my faith.
Exactly.
So if you're afraid, if you're fearful, and you're a believer, use the Jesus advantage.
Sure. Have faith. Feed faith. Feed your faith. Yes. Move out there. Believe in yourself and move out there and execute that idea that you have.
Yeah.
And you know what? Think of it as a preparation.
Yeah.
Waiting for a big day.
Yeah.
You know, go there, start rehearsing. And me and you know, you don't want to miss a rehearsal. You go. In high school, it's a rehearsal day. You have to make sure you are there. If you're told, guys, we have a rehearsal, you better be there. Why? Because that's where you are allowed to make mistakes and learn. But when you are now performing something, you cannot make a mistake. So think about when you're executing your idea, when you're learning your ideas, when you're trying to act, move out there. Think about is doing rehearsal. Show up and don't fail to show up. Mainly, I think we need to wind up this. We can continue talking about
courage. This is a very interesting topic.
I'm so much interested in courage.
Yeah, me too.
Personally, I had to build up courage even to do some of the things that I do.
Yeah, I know. You cannot even do convo without courage.
Man, you have to.
You have to be courageous. You have to be persistent, like you said.
And consistent. Yes. So we are so much excited, guys, having you. We still want to remind you to consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. Hit that bell so that you can always be notified anytime we have new content coming up. Mainly, your parting shot, maybe.
My parting shot will be one of the time I think I shared with you. One of my friends told me that when you have so much potential and you don't want to soar up, you want to be like a caged ego.
Yes.
So I want to tell our viewers that don't be a caged ego. You have the potential to rise up, but don't remain in that cage of fear, that cage of unbelief, or that cage of I don't have finances. You know, the excuses we give. Don't remain in that cage. Take the first step and keep taking those baby steps until you get there.
Wow. You heard it. Those baby steps. One of the things that I know that can cause frustration in your life is when you have an idea but you can't implement that idea. Man, can be frustrating. And you know what you need? It's boldness to execute. My name is James. I was joined in by Kinuthia. We are having a conversation on boldness. We're so much happy. Give us your feedback. You know, we'd love to hear what your thoughts are. What is limiting you from executing? Comment. From us, the bye-bye. Thank you so much for tuning in. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you.